Over the last 3 days, I've slept for only 10 hours, give or take, because I've been playing over and over and over again this DLC because it is that good. I've been playing Valhalla and I think I'm pretty much done with everything there was to do. And the reason why I'm making this video is because I wanted to tell you about the hilt, that one hilt, Relic, which is going to break the game. It is broken, overpowered, and I know we tend to use those words, OP, overpowered, broken, needs nerfed lightly nowadays, but trust me when I tell you that I mean it when I say that this relic is broken and is going to ensure that you never die. Yes, also, we know about those builds, you never die, unkillable, unstoppable machine, but trust me on this one. This relic is even better than Skofnung. It's not even close. I'll tell you why. So, first of all, I think it's quite easy to acquire. I don't remember exactly when I got it or where I got it, but I'm pretty sure I used it for 90% of my runs. It's called the Hilt of Forsbrandr. I think it's pronounced that like that at least. It pushes back enemies with force and grants an aura of protection. I think in the main game the problem with that relic, because I used it with one build specifically, but the problem is you don't really get most out of it, because it only protects you. But because in the DLC in Valhalla, they changed the way relics work in the DLC. In the main game, they work the same way as your relic attacks. You use them and then they go on cooldown until you can use them again. But in the DLC, I think to make it more fair, because relics are very powerful, you have charges, and once you exhaust all your charges, that's it. Unless you replenish your charges at that one stone before the fight against Tyr. Right now you can see how much damage I can sustain without using the relic, but now you can see that once you activate the relic, you can tank way more hits, and also you cannot be staggered. I mean, you can by some attacks, but not many. You can see I'm just standing there doing nothing and I can tank multiple attacks. That's the first thing I want you to keep in mind. By itself, without any perk or any other thing to make it even better, this relic is really good, because in the DLC you can tell I was playing on the Show Me Mastery difficulty, and at first I was struggling, but then it became easier with each death. And I also want to say that having 5 charges instead of 1 when it comes to Skofnung is definitely a great thing. And I don't need to tell you why 5 is better than 1. And also Skofnung is an endgame type of relic, and honestly, for what Valhalla is for, I don't think Skofnung is great. I'm going to tell you why later, but mostly 5 charges that you can use for different encounters, especially when you feel like things are getting rough against multiple enemies surrounding you, dealing multiple damage, especially when it comes to those Valhalla chosen ones where you have to, there's like a timer, and if you are too slow, then you're going to have to fight harder versions of enemies. And if you want to take things to the whole new level, you have that thing which reduces your health whenever you start an encounter. Anyway, there is one, actually you have 2 specific perks which can make this relic even more broken. It's already broken because remember, it makes you invincible. I mean, you can still die, but it's going to be very difficult, especially if you have the Valor Spasm Rage, which heals you. So it's already really difficult to die. But then there is that one relic which is going to make it so that every time you are about to get hit while you trigger your relic, it's going to give you another charge. To put things in perspective, let's say you had 3 charges and you were about to get hit and you use your relic, but then bam, you get it back. It doesn't take away a charge, you get the charge back, which is insane. What does it mean? It means that you have infinite charges for that one relic, which makes you unkillable. And guess what? You can use it as a parry. Every 5 seconds, I think it's either 5 or 7 seconds, give or take, Every 5 seconds, you can pop your relic, interrupt everything. Doesn't matter if it is a grab, a red ring attack, it doesn't matter. The moment you use it, and you're going to not take damage whenever you are using the relic to begin with. So you can interrupt enemies, you're going to take less damage, and you have unlimited amount of charges. Do I need to tell you why this is broken? I don't think so. But then, if you take things to the next level, it's all about luck. You know, finding the right perks is all about luck. But the moment you find that one perk, that's it. It's game over. There's no way you die. There's actually no way you die. Okay, let's say you were not that lucky when it comes to finding that one perk. Well, guess what? There is another perk which is just as great, if not better, than the one we just used. It's quite difficult to find it, so I would recommend, trying to get those burdens and go for the perfect perks. Usually it's a red perk. I think it's a red one, so it's really difficult to find unless you go through the last part of the level, in grace. It's really difficult to find it. So what it does is every time you hit people, you're going to get some charges back, and you can even exceed the previous charges you had for that relic. For example, usually you would have five charges for the Hilt of Forsbrandr, but because I'm using that one perk, it can go all the way to 7. And I would suggest investing into luck, because the higher the luck, the more chances you have of replenishing your charges whenever you hit people. So don't forget to increase your luck. Now, I think you may not be convinced yet, because, well, Skofnung just gets the job done. The reason why I wouldn't recommend Skofnung, especially in this game mode, is because this is about survival. On Show Me Mastery, you can easily die if you get the wrong set of enemies together. It's really difficult to survive, but if you have that one get out of jail card you can pop at any given moment whenever you feel threatened, that's basically it's going to take away the difficulty, and that's awesome. Honestly, I was playing something on that difficulty, and I was thinking to myself, there is no way it is that easy, but I made it that easy, and it's going to make your other runs that easy. The reason why I also don't like Skofnung is because whenever you use Skofnung, there is like a delay between the moment you activate it and the moment you actually start doing something. It's like 5 seconds where you can get hit. And in case you forgot, in this game, if you use your relic or your runic attacks way too many times, the boss or even regular enemies are going to get a shield. And Skofnung can't do anything about the shield. The boss is still going to take damage from the sword, but he can still hit you. They can still hit you, which is bad, because if they hit you, guess what? You die. So that's why I don't think Skofnung is the best choice. It's still great. Skofnung is still great, but it's not as good as that other relic which just protects you, and it just starts working the moment you activate it, as opposed to 5 seconds later. 5 seconds where you can die. So that's it. That's the reason why I think the Hilt of Forsbrandr is the best thing in the game right now. I don't think they're going to nerf it. They don't have to, because it's all RNG whether they're going to find the right perks. But if you find the right perks, again, that's it. There is no way you will die. You still can die, but come on, it's going to be like super difficult. I don't think you can do that. I don't think you can die. So I'm just here trying to see if you can prove me wrong. I've completed at this point like 15 runs so far with this this combination. I don't think there's anything better than that. Especially if you use the blades and the Valor Spontan Rage, it's impossible to die. Yeah, I said impossible. I'm Giselle, and I'm going to put some gameplay here and there just to showcase how great it is. Maybe I'm going to do it over the course of this video, I don't know. But anyway, drop a like if you enjoyed it, and if you disagree, let me know down below in the comments. I'll see you. Peace. Arms up!
Blood for blood. Brewing on. Ah, well done. Can you land another?